Eagles now. We get busy, chasing Trizzy. Eagles now. Bruising birds, we keep it litty. Eagles now. Pre-game, post-game, make it look easy. Eagles now. No one likes us, please believe it. Eagles now. Super chats, we keep them coming. Eagles now. Jalen a booby, keep it running. Eagles now. Shots downtown, A.J. Brown. Eagles now. If you ain't know, you know it now. Eagles now.
All right, what's up? Welcome in. You're watching Philadelphia Eagles Now, live here on Chat Sports. Chase Sr. here with you. No matter where you are or how you're tuned in, greatly appreciate all of you for making Philadelphia Eagles Now a part of your day. A loaded show coming your way on this beautiful Thursday. It is Giants week. We're going to get you pumped up for that, no doubt. And it's a huge game on Sunday against the rival Giants. We'll ask you what your most hated divisional rival is, but first, let's get the chant going right now in the comment section because this is a big game, both for Philadelphia as well as New York. F New York. F New York. F New York. Get it into the comment section right now. I see Carapoulas hanging out, Pyro, Tom Ness, Elijah Stovall, Giordano, Nick Stone is back. Appreciate all of you for having your notifications on, by the way, and being subscribed. Gabriel Lee. Kurt Johnson also typing that FNY. Really can't wait to preview that game against the New York Giants. Going to be taking place 1 o'clock Eastern time from MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. We will be doing a watch party for that game as well. Also on today's show, we're going to break down all of the latest Philadelphia Eagles news and rumors, an Odell Beckham Jr. update. Should the Eagles play Nakobe Dean more with how well he played against the Titans? Does James Bradberry want to be back next year? We're about to see him try to get his revenge on the New York Giants. And could the Philadelphia Eagles make a play for Josh Jacobs in 2023? Some rumblings there. More people starting to pile into the show. I'm talking to you, Next Shift, Tommy Curzio, Pyro Oro, Cupid, Mike Jones. Who? Mike Jones. Champo1 is also here. And we're bringing you this show, all thanks to Rocket Money. Cancel unnecessary subscriptions and start saving money by utilizing that link at the bottom of your screen, rocketmoney.com/Eagles Now. This is an app that I've been using for a little while, and it's helped me cancel subscriptions I didn't even know I was using, and in the process, I'm able to save a lot of money on a yearly basis, all because of this user-friendly app. Do you know how much your subscriptions really cost? Most Americans think they spend around $80 a month on subscriptions, when the actual total, get this, closer to $200 or more. That's right. You could be wasting hundreds of dollars each month on subscriptions you don't even know about. And with the holiday season here, we're spending a lot of money on Christmas gifts, Hanukkah, etc. That's not good. We got to save as much money as possible. There's this app I love using, and it's Rocket Money, formerly known as Truebill. The app shows all of your subscriptions in one place and then cancels for you whatever you don't still want. Rocket Money can even find subscriptions you didn't even know you were paying for. So get rid of those useless subscriptions with Rocket Money now. If you use our special link for the Fly Eagles family, it's rocketmoney.com/Eagles Now. You can view all your subscriptions on one screen, stay on top of upcoming bills, and they cancel subscriptions for you by the simple touch of one single button, hitting cancel now. We'll put that link in the comment section. It's already hanging out in the description of this video. Champo1, Tommy Curzio, Mike Kravac, Jim Capelli, Next Shift, Champo1, Sheldon, all in the chat right now. Fly Eagles, fly Sheldon. You already know the deal. And we're coming to you from our Chat Sports studios live in Dallas, Texas. My question for you, where's the Bird Gang hanging out? I'm always fascinated taking a look at the YouTube analytics to see where people tune in from. And what's cool about Philadelphia Eagles Now, people literally watch us from every pocket of America, but also all across the globe. So where are you? Let us know specifically right now. San Angelo, Texas, from Gabriel Lee. Sheldon is in Virginia. Connecticut from Mike Jones. Thought he was from Houston. Nick Stone, Chicago. Corpus Christi from Dion. Champ and Pyro are going back and forth. Be nice in the chat unless you're Eagles and Giants fans. Virginia 2 from our mother, Cara Poole. Philly from Champo 1. South Central PA from Kurt. Where at, Kurt? Grew up in Westchester, used to work in Scranton. Pyro is in Pensacola, Florida. Cupid is hanging out in Charlotte. Just Gregory kicking it from Tampa. Tom Ness, Baltimore, Maryland. I told you, people were watching from everywhere. Cool Rains still is and always is in Melbourne, Australia. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi. L.A. Heesire, Nashville, Tennessee, and Waukee Slush, West Virginia. I love the usernames that we're seeing here. So like I said, I hope you hang out with us all throughout the afternoon because we have so much to discuss on the docket for today. My next question for the people, because it is Giants week, and this is also our live poll, I'm curious because there's been a generational shift as to which team in the division the Philadelphia Eagles hate more. Younger generation, they have more of a hatred toward the New York Giants, but a lot of people, of course, despise the Dallas Cowboys, and the Washington Commanders, formerly the Washington Redskins, are really just the Washington Commies, and nobody cares about them because they always stink. So the most hated team in the division is what? NYG for the Giants, DAL for the Cowboys, or is it WAS for Washington? Overwhelmingly right now on our live poll, it's the Cowboys 94% with 127 votes. Now let's see what the people are saying in the comment section. Gabriel Lee, Dallas. Kurt, Dallas. Champ, Dallas. Mike Jones, Dallas. Giordano, Cowboys. Nick Stone, how about them Cowboys? Elijah, tail end of the Giants, always hated the Cowboys. I agree. Cool Rains, my order, Dallas, Washington, New York. A little bit of a surprise there from Melbourne, Australia, but I like differences of opinion. A lot of people on Twitter, they ain't about that life, though. LA, Dallas, Dutchy, Dallas, currently rebranding. One of our true viewers and supporters and subscribers here on Eagles Now, Dallas. Champo 1, I give the Commanders my respect because they aren't a bad team, but they are just underrated. They are a little bit underrated. Playing good football right now with Taylor Heineke. My own perspective said all of them. And yeah, at the end of the day, all of them. If you're going to be joining our watch party on Sunday, we will be live starting at 12:30 p.m. Eastern for a 30-minute pregame show. We'll be live during the game for play-by-play audience interaction and to just chop it up with all of you. And we'll probably be live for another post-game show. So if you're going to join us for our watch party on Sunday, more giveaways in store, by the way. I want you to type real one. That means that you love our content. You take in our content no matter what. And even if you're watching the game, have our watch party popped up because it's the best experience outside of being at the actual game at MetLife Stadium or at Lincoln Financial Field. So type real one if you'll be hanging out with us. Gabriel Lee, he's a real one. Champo 1, always real. Losing Hope, certainly a real one. Cool Rains, Julio, all going to be tuned into our watch party. Make sure you subscribe, turn on those notices. Therefore, when we do go live, you'll be notified. Kara Poole, steady on that real one train. Mike, real one. Russell, real one. Cupid, yes sir, for real. Mike Jones, who? He'll be tuned in. Dan Rudolph, shout me out. I'm a real one. It's going to be lit. It's always lit. Russ Kagan knows about that too. Thomas, he farted. I hope that you're feeling better after that. Week 14 watch party, like I said. Pregame show starts at 12:30 p.m. Eastern, 9:30 a.m. Pacific. For those of you who live on the West Coast, I don't know how you do it. Watching football at 10 a.m., I just become a certified alcoholic at that point. But here you go. Going to be a lot of fun. Autograph giveaways from yours truly here as well. Our Super Chat menu for today's show. No Trizzy Trace. He's off today, so we have Nick Roloff here. Everybody type NR in the comment section to show him some love. But our Super Chat menu. $5, we're going to ring the Liberty Bell. $10, we're going to spin the wheel. Some really good stuff on that. $20, EAGLES chant. $50, it's the Eagles theme song as I put on the Eagle foam head. And for $100, I will drink a beer out of this Philly special mug. So that is our Super Chat menu. If you don't want to donate to the show, as I always say, that is fine. Like the video, comment, subscribe, share the video. We have our wheel here as I dive into my bag of goodies. We have the Eagles foam head, which is a staple here on the show, and then the Liberty Bell as well. So that is our Super Chat menu, and if you want to save your money for our watch party on Sunday, you can do that too, but it does go a long way in supporting absolutely everything that we do. We're getting ready to start the show here on Eagles Now. If you do want to be included on the show, a few ways for you to get involved. Use the hashtag Eagles, better yet, Super Chat, and let's chop it up. Do you have a question for me, a comment? You just want to have anything that you say featured on the screen by producer Rolly today, then just use the hashtag Eagles, better yet Super Chat, because I'm always down to chop it up and interact with the Fly Eagles Fly family. If you're ready to start the show, this is what I want you to do right now. 130 people watching live, only 39 likes. That right there, it ain't good. It's not what I expect from the great city of brotherly love and our worldwide Eagles kingdom. So hit that thumbs up icon, like the video if you're ready to begin today's show. You don't want to miss any of it because there is so much that we're going to talk about today. Brandon Ford, congrats on the podcast, my guy. I tuned in the other day. Good to hear you talking some birds. He's telling everybody to hit that mother effing like button. Let's effing go. Yes, sir. Bring that energy like Brandon Ford, and let's go, Brandon. Nicky Boy, Russell Nye. I think OBJ is a bad idea. So do I. I've continued to say that, and we'll give you an OBJ update right around the corner. John P., that's an interesting question. Somebody else can answer that. Cupid, why for such a short period to finish the year? What are you talking about? I'm not sure. Cool Rains, already getting that question in. Be like Cool Rains and use the hashtag Eagles. Can we get to 70 likes before we start the show? 132 people watching live. That number will continue to grow throughout the day. 61 likes right now. Let's get to 70 before we officially kick things off here on Philadelphia Eagles Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Chase Sr. Going to start off talking some OBJ. James Bradberry looking to get his revenge, and some positive Nakobe Dean signs. That's what we're going to get to. 63 likes, 7 likes away from officially starting the show. No matter where you are, how you're tuned in, you are all the best for tuning in to Philadelphia Eagles Now. Julio, that's a good question. What team are you most afraid of in the playoffs? Definitely the San Francisco 49ers, even if it's with Brock Purdy. That defense is really good, could give the Eagles some trouble. Dallas Cowboys, I'd say them, but anytime it comes to the big dance, the Cowboys always choke. All right, we're past 70 likes. We're locked and loaded. We're ready to rock and roll, and the show officially starts right now. All right, what's up? Welcome in. You're watching Philadelphia Eagles Now right here on Chat Sports. My name is Chase Senior, and I appreciate all of you for making Eagles Now a part of your day. Another great show on tap for you all today. Nick Sirianni talked about Odell Beckham Jr., so we'll give you an update on the OBJ front. James Bradberry looking to get his revenge against the New York Giants, and he talked about his future and whether or not he wants to stay in Philadelphia after he's put together a really impressive season. And should the Eagles play Nakobe Dean more after what he did in a limited sample size against the Tennessee Titans? It was great to finally see him with some extended action. Before we dive into all of that, a reminder, we'll be live on Sunday for a Week 14 watch party against the New York Giants. It is Giants Hate Week. Make sure you subscribe and join us. Pre-game show starts at 12:30 p.m. Eastern. Try to get to 37,000 subs by the end of the week. We're about 120 people away, so if you want to stay in the know with daily videos on the birds, live shows, and watch parties as well, hit that subscribe button. And I want to start off today's show with this poll question, because depending on the generational shift, some Eagles fans hate the Cowboys a lot more than the Giants, or the Giants a lot more than the Cowboys, and the consensus seems to be that the Commanders are always the least hated team inside this division. So you speak up for yourselves. Which team do you hate the most? Giants, Cowboys, Washington? Let me know right now in the comment section. We begin today's show with the latest on Odell Beckham Jr., and we're talking about OBJ after this tweet really made the rounds, and we talked about it on yesterday's show, from Mike Florio of Pro Football Talk. And it cracks me up when a lot of people in the comment section are saying, this is clickbait, it doesn't come from an actual source. This was the biggest subject matter pertaining to the Eagles yesterday. So we have to talk about it here on the show when it comes from a guy who is pretty notable in Mike Florio. He said last year when the OBJ free agency sputtered, we said, watch the Rams. As this year's OBJ free agency time sputters, I'll say this, watch the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, Nick Sirianni on Wednesday was asked about signing OBJ, and he got honest. And honestly, I agree with Nick Sirianni in his honesty. He said this about possibly acquiring OBJ in free agency. I'm really excited about our wide receiver room. I'll leave it at that. He went on to say it's the most talented wide receiver room he's ever been a part of. So that right there tells you yeah, he doesn't really think they need OBJ. He continued by saying, everybody knows what A.J. Brown and DeVonta Smith are doing, and then you have Quez Watkins, who is continuing to come on and continuing to make plays and continuing to be that big speed wide receiver that we need. And then you have Zach Pascal, who is very critical to a team, the type of play he brings. And then your fourth has to be a special teams contributor, which is what Pascal is, and he has to be willing to do the dirty work and back up every single position and have that specialty role. That's what Zach Pascal occupies on this roster. Then your fifth guy, he better play special teams. And our fifth guy, rookie Britain Covey, is our returner who had his best game as a professional last week. And I agree with a couple of things that Nick Sirianni said there. You have to have a wide receiver room that's really comprised like what the Eagles have on this roster. You have your top two options in A.J. Brown and DeVonta Smith. You have a really good speed threat who can get vertical, take the top off of the defense in Quez Watkins. Then the backups in Pascal, who does do the dirty work and occasionally is the unsung hero, can come in a pinch. And Britain Covey did, in fact, have his best game as a pro last week against Tennessee. So the translation from Nick Sirianni, yeah, we're good, thanks, but no thanks. And it's easy to see why he thinks that with the Eagles' wide receiver production. A.J. Brown has been a top 3, top 5 wide receiver here in 2022 with the impact that he has on this offense and the overall production. The fact that he has 61 catches, 950 yards, and 9 touchdowns is pretty wild considering that he's been targeted about 20 times less than some of the other top wideouts in the league, yet the production is better than a lot of those guys. DeVonta Smith is balling out, and Quez Watkins on a different team would be a really good speed threat as a number 2 or a number 3 who just gets utilized more. But because the Eagles also have Dallas Goedert, they like to run the football, they incorporate Jalen Hurts into the offense, they diversify their offensive attack and really spread out the football, and I like that approach. And because they are so well-rounded on the offensive side of the football, barring an injury happening, the Eagles don't need to go out and sign Odell Beckham Jr. There are other teams who could pay him more and need him more than what Philadelphia has right now. So because we're talking about wide receivers here, I want to put you to the test here, just like our previous poll question. Your favorite Eagle wide receiver of all time, who is it? Are you going way back Harold Carmichael? Are you going Terrell Owens in the early 2000s? Or if you're newer to the Eagles, A.J. Brown, Deshaun Jackson, so many options to choose from. Let us know. Mike Quick can certainly be thrown in that conversation. Tommy McDonald, even for the old school cats out there. Drop me a name in the comment section. Now we shift gears to James Bradberry because A.J. Brown had revenge on his mind last week against the Titans, his former team, and James Bradberry, he could have revenge on his mind this week against the New York Giants. Does this sound familiar? An Eagle is facing his former team, the one that let him go, and now that player is excelling on the right side with the E-A-G-L-E-S Eagles. And last week, it did not go well for the opposition. A.J. Brown with 2 touchdowns. Eagles fans at the link were taunting the owner's box for the Tennessee Titans, and then a couple of days later, after they saw their former number 1 wide receiver thrash them and be their daddy on Sunday, they fired their general manager in John Robinson. A.J. Brown, he was pointing out cats all throughout the afternoon, rightfully so, because A.J. Brown dominated that football game. And of course, Bradberry this week in the lead up to this divisional matchup, the first game this year between the Giants and the Eagles, was asked about facing his former team that let him go. And the Eagles have reaped the benefits of it. Here's what Bradberry had to say, who's been one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL this year. I think the situations were a little bit different. Mine and A.J. Brown's. I have come to peace with leaving the New York Giants, and us winning a lot of football games here in Philadelphia has helped me with that. I'm part of the Eagles. We're winning, and I'm going to try to keep that going. As for if James Bradberry commented on whether or not he wants to re-sign with the Eagles in NFL free agency, we're going to get to that right around the corner because with the way that he's been playing this year, Bradberry is going to make a lot of money on the open market, and the Eagles have a bevy of tough difficult decisions to make in NFL free agency. Stay tuned for what he said, and we'll talk some Nakobe Dean. But first, I want to tell you about Rocket Money because this app has absolutely changed my life, and it's helped me keep track of my expenses, save money, and cancel unnecessary subscriptions. Get signed up today by heading to rocketmoney.com/Eagles. Now, do you want to know how much your subscriptions really cost to my Fly Eagles Fly family? Most Americans out there and Eagles fans, they think they spend about $80 per month on subscriptions. You're wrong. The actual total cost, closer to $200 or more. That's right. You could be wasting hundreds of dollars each month on subscriptions you don't even know about. And there's this app I love using. It's Rocket Money that takes care of that for me, formerly known as Truebill. The app shows all of your subscriptions in one place and then cancels for you whatever you don't still want. Rocket Money can even find subscriptions you didn't even know you were paying for. You may even find out you've been double charged for a subscription. And to cancel it, all you have to do is press cancel. Rocket Money takes care of the rest. So get rid of those useless subscriptions with Rocket Money now. Head to rocketmoney.com/Eagles now. Saving money, keeping track of your expenses, all from the power of your phone. Sign up today. You will not regret this app. We'll put that link in the comment section as well as the description of this video. So going back to that question, does James Bradberry want to stay with how well he's played opposite of Darius Slay, considering all of the free agents who are set to hit the market for Philadelphia, and they have to be very careful with how they really spread out their spending? And Bradberry, he kept it honest, and I appreciate that about Bradberry. He's trying to get the bag, and he basically alluded to that in my opinion here. I'm open to staying in Philadelphia. Like I said, at the end of the day, it's going to be a business first, and it has to make sense for me to stay here. And of course, they have to want me to stay here too. So Bradberry, if he has an opportunity to secure the bag elsewhere and the Eagles can't offer him a contract that's close, go somewhere else, even though I think that Bradberry is an excellent fit within this defense, and sometimes staying with where you're playing and considering the surrounding pieces on that roster will help elevate your game like it has this year for Bradberry. His season stats: 3 interceptions, 14 pass breakups, a Pro Football coverage grade of 81.2, and an overall Pro Football Focus grade of 76.2. That coverage grade of 81.2, you will struggle to find cornerbacks in the National Football League who have a grade higher than that in today's pass-happy NFL. And with the tape that he's been able to assemble this year, yes, he's been a great cornerback number 2. Is he a number 1 overall cornerback? Probably not, because his time with the New York Giants proved that. But he's going to have an opportunity to get the bag because cornerback's a very sought-after position for a lot of teams out there. And in that secondary, I'd rather probably re-sign C.J. Gardner-Johnson as compared to James Bradberry if you had to decide between both of those. Lastly, let's round out today's show with a little Nakobe Dean talk. When he was selected in the 3rd round after winning that national championship with Georgia, I thought it was a steal for Howie Roseman. In the preseason, though, he was a little bit overwhelming. But should he be playing more after he was able to display a lot of potential in those 15 snaps against the Titans after filling in for Kaiser White? The capsule for Nakobe Dean in that game: 15 total snaps, as I alluded to. He had 6 combined tackles, 1 tackle for a loss behind the line of scrimmage. And he showed that if an injury were to happen at that linebacker position, like what happened to Kaiser White or TJ Edwards or somebody else, he can fill in. He can fill in nicely and be serviceable. And I really like Nakobe Dean's instincts. This is a guy whose mental makeup really reminds me of the mental makeup from a guy who is just always cool, calm, and collected. Kind of a guy like Jalen Hurts, right? Doesn't get overwhelmed. A smart football mind, is willing to put the necessary work in to maximize yourself as a football player, and sometimes it takes a little while for you to get acclimated to the NFL like it did with Hurts. Maybe that happened with Nakobe Dean. That's why he struggled in preseason. And of course, physically, you have to get up to par as well. But with more experience, I think we're going to be able to see Nakobe Dean have those flashes that we really, really liked at Georgia, because that college tape, it was phenomenal. With this game on Sunday, who you got? Eagles traveling to MetLife in New Jersey to take on the Giants, a Giants team that's kind of reeling right now and very, very desperate. PHI for the Birds, NYG for the New York Giants. Let us know. And as always, appreciate all of you for watching. All right, some super chats came in as we were doing that segment. We'll catch up on your donations here. Emmanuel Henderson. Should the Eagles start giving contract extensions to several players whose contracts expire before next year's free agency to prevent overpaying players? It's always a good idea to look ahead, and that's what Howie Roseman has done so well over time. Now, right now, they're really not going to focus on that because they can't sign players to contract extensions, but Howie Roseman does a great job of kind of foreseeing what type of value a player will have and then getting that player on a bargain deal. So you're right, Emmanuel Henderson. It is a good thought to always look ahead like any good business does. And with that $10 super chat, we're going to spin the wheel here. See what pops up on the wheel. And it's going to be a Merrill Reese call. So for those of you OGs who know Merrill Reese, radio play-by-play announcer for the Philadelphia Eagles, has a very unique voice. It goes something like, "He's in! Touchdown!" Now, a lot of people like to say that when I call games, I'm better than Merrill Reese, but I totally disagree with that sentiment because he's an all-time legend. Izzy B is back with the $5 super chat, new picture and all. Cowboys are like Alabama in college. Everybody hates them, but at least Bama wins usually. And I am an Auburn alumni, so not a fan of Bama or the Dallas Cowboys. Now, from a winning standpoint, the Cowboys don't win the big game like Alabama does. So they're different in that regard. From them being a national power and some random cat in North Dakota being an Alabama fan like they would root on the Dallas Cowboys, very similar right there. $5 super chat. Can we pop up that super chat menu again there, Rolly, to let the people know what we're cooking with today? We already spun the wheel for a $10 super chat. And for $5, Izzy B. We'll ring the Liberty Bell. $20 Eagles chant, $50 Eagles theme song, $100 total. I'll drink a beer out of the Philly special mug here. Philly, the city of champions is how that reads. So that is our super chat menu. We're going to continue to keep it moving right here on Eagles Now. Coming up next, could Philadelphia look to replace Miles Sanders with the running back who this year is having a better season than Miles Sanders? If you want to get involved in the show like Izzy B, like Emmanuel Henderson, make sure you use the hashtag Eagles, better yet, Super Chat. Last segment of the show, our third, we'll be taking your questions. Pyro, I think we're America's team. Pennsylvania has a lot of history. Our mascot is the country's bird. If not us, it's New England, just not Dallas. Pyro, that's great. Philadelphia is America's birthplace. Declaration of Independence, signed in Philadelphia. The Eagle is America's national icon, and it's a better city than Dallas. And I live in Dallas right now, although I do live in down here because the freedom, very, very nice. 5 likes away from 100. Make sure you hit that thumbs up icon, like the video. Therefore, you spread the word that we're live here on Eagles Now. We'll get that number up to 200 plus once again, like it was for our previous segment. Make sure that's Eagles Now. There you go. Rolly, good shit. Izzy B, Nick Stone chopping it up back and forth. Dan Rudolph, Maddox or Scott at cornerback when he comes back. It's going to be Avonte Maddox, man. No question about that. He's a much better player than Josiah Scott, and we've seen Scott hold his own, no doubt, but he's certainly a limited player and no doubt a backup slot cornerback. All right, let's talk Josh Jacobs. Let's talk Miles Sanders. That's coming your way on Eagles Now right now. A lot to get to here on Philadelphia Eagles Now by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Senior. Hope all of you out there having a great week in this lead up to this huge game against the New York Giants on Sunday. And today's show is presented by True Classic Tees. I love their t-shirts. I love their golf polos, but True Classic offers a lot of other clothing items outside of just shirts like the one that I'm rocking. Check it out for yourself. 25% off site-wide as well if you enter the code chat at trueclassictees.com/chat. We'll put that link in the comment section and the description of this video. So what I want to talk about on the program today is something juicy out there. And we've talked about Josh Jacobs a lot here on this channel because the Las Vegas Raiders declined his fifth-year option. And in classic Raiders fashion, by declining that fifth-year option, he's having an all-pro caliber season, best year of his career, and now the Raiders, a team that's cash-strapped, might not be able to re-sign him next year. So will the Eagles pursue Josh Jacobs in 2023 free agency, knowing they have a need potentially to fulfill in that backfield, with also Miles Sanders set to be a free agent? Stay tuned. Today's show absolutely fascinating, and this is why you subscribe to the channel. Informative, entertaining, consistent analysis on the daily basis year-round. And if you don't know, now you know. We cook up free daily videos right here on the channel, so subscribe, lock us in. We're on the road to 40,000 subscribers ASAP. So Josh Jacobs, been playing like the best back in football this year. Raiders declined his fifth-year option, set to be a 2023 free agent, and by far the former Alabama Crimson Tide running back having the best year of his career. And the Eagles, whether it's in the NFL draft or in free agency, could be looking for a running back because Miles Sanders is also set to be a free agent. Now, when you compare Josh Jacobs to Miles Sanders, Sanders, like Jacobs, is having a career year as well. But with how well Jacobs is playing this year, Miles Sanders is going to be far cheaper. So keep that in mind during this conversation. We've talked about Jacobs in the past, as I said a little bit earlier, but now a lot of Eagles fans are really intrigued by the possibility because another former Eagles running back, LaShawn McCoy, said this about Josh Jacobs, flat out, very simple, short and sweet. Philadelphia, we got to go get Josh Jacobs because Jacobs in this offense, behind this offensive line, as a scheme fit, with the other complementary weapons in this offense, with Jalen Hurts in the backfield, could be really scary. While Miles Sanders is having a great year, he's not up to par with Josh Jacobs. And like I said, this guy having a historic year, on pace potentially to become the all-time leader in rushing yards for a single season in Raiders history. And keep in mind, they've had some excellent backs who have played with Las Vegas and formerly Oakland. Marcus Allen in that top spot. Napoleon Kaufman back in the day, 1997. And for Marcus Allen, he rushed for nearly 1,800 yards back in 1985. Mark Van Egan back in 77. He ran for nearly 1,300 yards. Marcus Allen again in 1984. And Josh Jacobs now, with 5 games left to play during the regular season, has an opportunity as he's about 400 yards away from Marcus Allen from unseating him as the single-season rushing leader in the history of the Raiders. And we have a glimpse of what Jacobs can do. He did this a couple of weeks ago against the Seattle Seahawks, in which he accounted for more than 300 all-purpose yards. So like Sanders, he can catch the ball out of the backfield. He can run tough and physical in between the tackles, and both of those really important in this Eagles offense, but also he could be a flashy player as well. So against the Seahawks 2 weeks ago, he runs for more than 200 yards. He also was targeted 7 times through the air, 6 catches, 74 yards, and had that long touchdown run in overtime to make that dub official for Las Vegas. That's a glimpse and a snippet of what Jacobs is primed to do. And can you imagine him in this offense? Now, I do not like paying big money to running backs out there. So if I had my choice, because I could save some money at an expendable, replaceable position, I might go with Miles Sanders if I had to sign one back in this backfield. If that's the case and you agree with me, type MS. If you disagree with me, feel free to rip me in the comment section, but make sure you type JJ if you want him instead. Now, Philadelphia Eagles Now today is presented by True Classic. To our Fly Eagles Fly family, almost all men's shirts are designed to look good on a certain body type. Think A.J. Brown and a wide receiver type of physique with 6-packs. But most of us aren't packing anything but a few beers and an offensive line body like, let's say, Jason Kelce. But there's nothing wrong with that, my homies and my dudes. It's simple. You're just wearing the wrong clothes. Get fitted with True Classic Tees and get 25% off using the code chat at trueclassictees.com/chat. True Classic Tees, they taper off at the bottom, but they fit a little bit tighter around the chest as well as in the shoulders here to make you look a little bit slimmer. If you have a couple of added pounds on there, you can throw on that True Classic with confidence, knowing that they've got and we've got your bases covered. True Classic will make you feel your best by accentuating the places that eyes go to first Wink, wink. Whether you have abs or flabs, their clothes look great on all body types. Skinny dudes, big dudes, buff dudes, my dudes, wide receiver dudes, offensive line dudes. This deal, it's one of the best out there. 25% off for the stylish, affordable, comfortable, high-quality gear at trueclassictees.com/chat. So let's continue to further this conversation here about whether or not the Eagles should pursue Josh Jacobs or they should settle with Miles Sanders. NFL rushing leaders here in 2022. It's Josh Jacobs by about 200 yards, who has the edge above Nick Chubb. That's why I said earlier on, I think that Jacobs is the best running back in the NFL this year. Derrick Henry slotted in at number 3 after he was held silent by that Eagles rushing defense. Saquon Barkley, we'll see him on Sunday at number 4. And then Dalvin Cook with 927 rushing yards checking in at 5th. How about rushing leaders for first downs? Familiar face on here. Jalen Hurts, future opponent in the Chicago Bears, and Justin Fields. But Josh Jacobs, rushing leader for first down conversions with an astounding 72 this year. And then a little bit of a surprise there coming in at 4th and Jamal Williams, the Detroit Lions. But this guy and Jamal Williams, he's been a touchdown machine and a first down machine this year. This is where things start to get very, very interesting. And it puts into perspective just how special Jacobs has been during the 2022 campaign. Total yards leaders, obviously outside of quarterbacks. It is hard for a running back to be number 1 on this list because it's easier for wide receivers to pick up passing yards, receiving yards, rushing yards. Jacobs primarily used as a running back, but like I said, he does have that versatility to catch the ball out of the backfield. He is number 1 this year with more than 1,600 total yards, ahead of a guy like Tyreek Hill. So when I say that Jacobs has had a profound impact on that Raiders offense, he has been their MVP. Do you worry a little bit about him wearing down over time and the tread being on the tires with him being a running back? Yes. But still, he's been in the league now for 4 years, and he's still only 24 years old, very, very young, with not too much wear and tear on those tires. Miles Sanders, he has had a career year up to this point. And this is what it comes down to for me. He might be cheaper than Josh Jacobs. And I know a lot of people have criticized Miles Sanders over time. He's been a little bit brittle. He's fumbled the football, hasn't been steadily available. This year, you can't say that. And this year, you've seen just how special he is and can be as a home run threat. But he ain't Josh Jacobs. And that's why this debate is a good one. Sign a running back. Let's pose this question once more for you. If you didn't answer it, make sure you do so right now because your football intellect, the top among all fans in the NFL. MS for Miles Sanders, JJ for Josh Jacobs, let me know. And another reminder, we will be live for a Week 14 watch party against the New York Giants. It's Jalen Hurts and the 11-1 Eagles taking on the 7-4-1 New York Giants. A great rivalry game. Our coverage starts at 12:30 p.m. Eastern with our pregame show. Can't wait to see all of you there. All right, our Super Chat menu. We're stuck at $15 in Super Chats here. I see Waffle Crusher back in the chat. What up, Waffle? Ernesto Ojeda is back. GK Vlogs, Osmosis, Pyro, Dax, MS, JJ Too Expensive. Pyro, I agree with you. And it seems like a lot of people are feisty today in the chat. People are just going back at one another. It's a little hostile. So in case you need a reminder, here's our Super Chat menu. $5, we ring the Liberty Bell. $10, we spin the wheel. Couple of good items on here. Merrill Reese call, F New York, 10 push-ups. We'll have Patriots fan Rolly, who's producing the show. We'll force him to get on camera to say go Birds and remind him about Super Bowl 52. So that is our wheel for today's show. $20, EAGLES. Eagles! I just gave you a free one, $50 Eagles theme song. And if we get to $100 in total, I will chug a beer out of the Philly, City of Champions, Philly special glass here. I'm down to do that if we get to $100 in total. So that is our Super Chat menu with one more segment left to get to. Our final segment, we're going to take a look at this preview against the New York Giants, but then We're going to be answering all of your questions as well and your comments. So, to all of you who got Super Chats in, thank you. Let's get those featured on the mailbag if we can, Rolly. If you want more questions featured on the show, hashtag Eagles. If you just want to say something, hashtag Eagles as well. GK Vlogs, $15. Marsh gets so much more money. He doesn't. I have a look at the revenue. Eagles now making more than Giants now, my homie. We just did $400 last week on our show. $600 during our watch party. We ain't never scared GK Vlogs. F New York.
I'll say this about GK. He's a passionate Giants fan.
Okay.
So it is what it is.
I've
seen him over there on the Giants stream sometimes. But you mentioned he's getting feisty in the chat. Would you expect anything else out of Philly fans?
No, I would not. Which is, hey, these are my people. I absolutely love it. You're hearing from Nick Roley there. Hopefully we can spin the wheel to have that Patriots fan say, go Birds. But to our Giants homies out there who are tuned in, like GK Vlogs, either way, we appreciate your support of the show. And, of course, thank you for supporting my boy Marshall Green as well. Twinkle said, get wrecked, GK. Izzy B, I need some backup guys. Elijah Stovall said, I get paid tomorrow. So I know our Super Chats could be popping on Sunday then, if that means Elijah's getting paid tomorrow. FBI busting in GK's door anytime now from Twinkle. See, it's a healthy back and forth. As long as y'all aren't being too, ridiculous in the chat. GK, Eagles, why are y'all such frauds? When's the last time y'all won a playoff game, GK? I'm just curious. When's the last time y'all been to the playoffs, GK? I'm just curious. Super Bowl in 2017. Memory serves me correctly. It's a little bit more recent than those 2 Super Bowl victories, I'm sorry, Rolly, against your New England Patriots. Osmosis. Yo, heard this dude washes glizzies off screen. That's pretty funny. We need some more Super Chats, Izzy. Don't worry. We'll do a little Eagles Now happy hour at the end of the show. Hashtag Eagles or Super Chat. Coming up next on the show, preview against the New York Giants. It really is a big game for both sides, and we're going to break it down in full, then start taking your questions as well as your comments. Osmosis, only got 1 chip. Yeah, but it's most recent. Dallas Cowboys, they can brag about their 5 Super Bowls in 92, 93, and 95, but they haven't won one in more than a quarter century, and that's why Cowboys fans, as we can all agree, whether you're a Giants fan or an Eagles fan, they're all frauds. All right, let's preview this game against those fraudulent New York Giants. Here we go here on Eagles Now. We're going to preview this matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Giants on today's show, and then we'll start taking your questions and your Super Chats as well. It's all brought to you by True Classic Tees, 25% off your order if you use the code CHAT at trueclassictees.com/chat. Their golf polos and the athletic wear, so comfortable. It's been a part of my wardrobe for a really long time. Make it a part of yours to look good with an extra pep in your step. Be a little bit swaggier this holiday season with True Classic today. So the stage is set for Sunday at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, for one of the games of the week, in my opinion, just because of the hostility that exists between Philadelphia and New York. The Birds go into this game 11-1, 6.5-point favorites. The New York Giants coming off a tie against the Washington Commanders at 7-4-1 with the over-under set at 45. I think this game could be a little bit low scoring. I do like the Eagles to win it by about 6 or 7 points. Either way, it's going to be a smash mouth, bleeding type of game between 2 divisional rivals who do not like each other at all and have such a wonderful history in this great rivalry in the National Football League. And because it's a huge game on Sunday and it's Giants Hate Week, I want everybody watching right now who's a true supporter of the Philadelphia Eagles to type FNY in the chat, because that is the motto this week. And also subscribe to the channel, because we're having a sub battle between Eagles Now and Giants Now. Let's take down the Giants on the field as well as in the walls here at Chat Sports, and join us for our watch party on Sunday. Our coverage begins with our pregame show, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Update a look at the NFC East standings. We'll start there because this really goes to show you how closely contested this division is and why it's so paramount for both teams to win this game. If the Eagles lose and the Cowboys win, there's a 1-game differential with still 1 game left to play between the Eagles and the Cowboys on Christmas Eve. And for the Giants, they tied Washington. So over the next 2 games for New York, they either have to beat Philadelphia and Washington, or if they lose to Philadelphia, they have to beat Washington because they tied. That would mean that the Commanders get that tiebreaker, and then things start to get very interesting as far as who might get that last spot in the playoffs, because the look at the NFC playoff picture is as such. You look at how close things are between New York and Washington. Whichever team wins that game next week, they could lock down a playoff spot. So if New York beats Philadelphia this week, it greatly improves their playoff chances. And if the Eagles win, it improves their chances of maintaining that lead and winning the NFC East, but also maintaining the grasp of that number 1 seed in the NFC. As of right now, it's Eagles, Vikings, Niners, Bucks, Cowboys, Giants, Seahawks. Those are the teams who would officially be into the playoffs if the season ended today. Before we get to the nitty and gritty of this matchup from both sidelines, who you got in this game? You riding with the Birds? I am. If that's the case, PHI, New York Giants, then type NYG. Eagles injury report. Sean Bradley didn't practice much of this week because of a hamstring injury. Quez Watkins on Thursday, really good sign for him. He was seen on the practice field at the NovaCare complex taking punts. He's been battling that shoulder injury that he suffered in the 4th quarter against Tennessee. Kaiser White left early, which is why Nakobe Dean played a lot last week with an ankle injury. And Avonte Maddox has had his 21-day practice window open. There is a chance that at that slot nickel cornerback spot, he could play after he went on IR with a hamstring ailment. Let's take a look at some trends here thanks to sharp football analysis between the Eagles and the Giants. And this is why the Eagles can win this football game, because the trends certainly favor Philadelphia. Nearly 80% of the Eagles' scoring plays this year have resulted in touchdowns. That's by far and away number 1 in the NFL. On the other hand, the Giants' defense ranks 21st in that same category. The Eagles' offense averaging a league-best 6.6 yards per play in the first half of games this year. So if they get a stranglehold of this game from the get-go, going to be difficult to come back against Philadelphia. And this offense has an opportunity to really have a big day for the Birds. This is how the Giants rank defensively among all 32 teams in the NFL. Points per game, they're averaging and giving up 21 points per game. 27th in the NFL. Sacks, they don't generate a lot of pressure on opposing quarterbacks. They rank 20th. 30th in interceptions. So they haven't been able to generate a lot of turnovers like Philadelphia. Pass completions, though. The Giants are good against the pass. So the Eagles, with the Giants' rushing defense being ranked 26th, have an opportunity to dive into one of their strengths, run the football a lot, and then they can test that secondary to see how Jalen Hurts can go up against Don Wink Martindale's defense. And Wink Martindale does a really good job against young quarterbacks and mobile quarterbacks in the NFL because he used to be the defensive coordinator for Baltimore, so he had to prepare and practice against Lamar Jackson every week. Here are my biggest things to watch for in this football game. For the Giants offense, it starts and it ends with Saquon Barkley. Daniel Jones has had a nice year because Brian Dable, Coach of the Year candidate, has been able to bring the best out of Daniel Jones. He's a really good runner. But if you stop the Giants' run game and force them to throw, and you stop Saquon Barkley, that is a method for success for this Philadelphia Eagles team to come through with a victory. As for what the Giants might do with their philosophy going into this game, they know that they're the inferior team. The Eagles are just far superior from a talent perspective. So what are they going to try to do? Probably what Washington did a couple of weeks ago, handing the Eagles their first loss of the year. They're going to try to dominate the time of possession, run the football, convert on third downs, milk the clock, make it ugly, muddy it up, and force some turnovers. Because that, I believe, is the only way the Giants can win this game, and it's been done before. That's a steady formula in this league. For the offense for Philadelphia, it's been back the last couple of weeks. Good showing against Green Bay. An even better showing against the feisty Titans defense. I want to see in the guts of the 2022 season, with the playoffs around the corner, for this offense to maintain that and be less spotty like they were when they ran into those struggles. Played toward the Giants' weakness. That means that you have to run the football. The Giants are not a good defense against the rush. This Eagles offensive line, one of the best in the NFL. Run the football if it's working, and if you can't chuck it, keep on running it. And for Jalen Hurts, keep balling, number one. You've been playing MVP caliber football. In my eyes, you're the front runner to win the NFL's MVP award this year because of the overall impact he's had on this team through the air, on the ground. In the last couple of weeks, he's really had to elevate his play, and I want to see continued strides from Jalen Hurts in all facets. This is a different Giants team this year in 2022 as compared to previous years when this franchise was consistently in the cellar and a consistent joke. Brian Daboll has this team playing differently. They are much more disciplined. They are much more complementary. It's very much a similar roster to what the fraud Joe Judge had last year. Yet they're in a position to make the playoffs because of how well they have played and how well coached they are. They've won a lot of one-score games. They played in a lot of one-score games. And for them to come out on the winning side of that goes to show you that everything is in order thanks to the culture that Brian Daboll has been able to establish. Very far from the case that was Joe Judge. So before we continue to move forward in our preview, let me put you to the test here in the comment section. The most hated team inside the NFC East is what? Because it really does depend on generation. Commanders, Cowboys, Giants. Let me know right now down below. Philadelphia Eagles now is presented by True Classic tees like the one that I'm wearing right now. I love True Classic because you can look good this holiday season and chant E-A-G-L-E-S while you're rocking some True Classic gear. And the best part about all of this is 25% off this holiday season if you want to look good and fresh by using the code chat at trueclassictees.com/chat. True Classic tees, they taper off towards the bottom, but they fit tighter around the chest and the shoulders, so you can throw on that True Classic tee with confidence knowing that you've got your bases covered. True Classic is more than just a t-shirt company, though. They have all of the menswear staples you could need. They've got polos like I'm wearing, workout shirts like I've worn before, with the same flattering fit, to boxer briefs designed to keep your boys feeling nice and comfortable below the waistline. They make it super easy to build out your wardrobe, and you'll get top-notch quality for great value, which is important when money is tight. They have this pack builder on their website as well, which I like to use, where you can custom bundle all of their essential products and save even more than the discount that we're offering you today. And for any of the big boys out there, they have long body options for the tall guys up to triple XL on a lot of their staple colors. So get your t-shirts, get your polos, get your shorts, which I love too with that athletic wear, and pants. 25% off trueclassictees.com/chat. So I want to start taking some of your questions and your super chats because I know a lot of you have a lot to say about this football game and this team in general. This one coming in from Emmanuel Henderson. Thank you so much for your $10 donation. Should the Eagles start giving contract extensions to several players whose contracts expire before next year's free agency to prevent overpaying players? And Emmanuel, you make a fabulous point. And this is part of the philosophy for Howie Roseman. He does a great job of looking ahead. Now, obviously, the most notable, what are they going to do with Jalen Hurts if, for instance, they make a deep run in the playoffs and they want to lock down their quarterback for the future beyond just next year and not have to risk overpaying him way too much like the Cowboys had to do with Dak Prescott because they waited. So it's always good to get that early value on top of what I said, because the salary cap is only going to continue to increase, which means the contracts are going to get bigger, and that's why Howie Roseman is such a genius. Izzy B, I want GK Vlog. I want an apology when the Eagles win. So if you're watching our live show here, GK Vlog is a Giants fan. He's been throwing haymakers at our Eagles fans, and I can't wait to see the back and forth during our watch party on Sunday because, man, it's going to be intense and it's going to be wild. Julio, what team are you most afraid of in the playoffs? I would say the San Francisco 49ers, even without Jimmy Garoppolo. That defense, number one in every major defensive statistical category out there. And they just have premier players at all three levels on their defense. Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, their linebacking core is fantastic and very good against the pass. That team plays the run really good because they're number one in rushing yards allowed, even better against the pass, in my opinion, by the eye test. And then offensively, yes, Brock Purdy is going to be their starting quarterback, but Deebo Samuel, Christian McCaffrey, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, that team is legit. I'd like to say the Dallas Cowboys. Let's see how the Eagles fare on Christmas Eve against Dallas, but at the same time, once it comes playoff time, are we expecting a Mike McCarthy Dallas Cowboys team to win a clutch game and come through in a big moment? How about them Cowboys? Cool Rains tuned in from Melbourne, Australia. Do you think A.J. Brown and Miles Sanders will get over 1,000 yards after the Giants game? A.J. Brown is close. He's less than 100 yards away. And let me look at Miles Sanders' stats because I know that he's kind of closing in on the 1,000-yard mark as well. He is at 924. I think both of them are able to pick up 80-plus yards and both surpass 1,000 yards. Cool Rains. Good stuff right there, keeping us on notice. Ernesto, who do you think should have a big game against the Giants on Sunday? How about Miles Sanders? Because of the Giants' struggles against the ground game, as we talked about earlier in our preview. And still, even though the Giants are good against the pass, Jalen Hurts, continue the development, continue those steps forward made as a player. And then defensively, can we get another revenge game? Last week, A.J. Brown against Tennessee. This week, how about James Bradberry going up against the New York Giants? Kurt Johnson. How unusual is the year-over progress that Hurts has had this year over last year? I've never seen anything like it. This will be the last question in our mailbag before our Eagles Now Happy Hour on our live show. The only similar jump, Kurt, is one that we've discussed here on the show a little bit. Jalen Hurts in year one, he completed less than 60% of his passes. This year, he's closing in on 70%. Year over year, a jump very similar that's taken place recently has been Josh Allen. So Josh Allen came into the league in 2018. He completed 53% of his passes. Year two, he was at 59. Year three, it went all the way up to 70%, 69.2. Very nice. So from 52 year one to 70 almost in year three. Hurts' trajectory as a passer has been very, very similar to that. So those are really the two modern examples of such massive progress being taken at that quarterback spot. Fantastic question right there, Kurt. Glad we could give you some insight there. With this game on Sunday, embrace debate, get heated in the comment section, throw some jabs in the comment section toward those Giants fans. PHI for the Eagles, NYG for the New York Giants. Throw a punch like Philly great Bernard Hopkins toward those Giants fans in the comment section and let us know. $10 donation coming in from Waco 321. GK got toilet paper stuck to his sneakers. You know what? When I was a kid in elementary school, I was taking a dump as a young kid, and I went to walk out of the bathroom, and I went to the water fountain, and luckily a teacher was behind me and noticed that I had toilet paper hanging out of my pants because sometimes, you pull the drawers up, it gets caught in there. It's happened to a lot of people, and thankfully that teacher saved me from just getting made fun of all throughout the day from my classmates. So hopefully that doesn't happen to people out there. Hopefully it does happen to Giants fans, though. $10 super chat from Waco. You know what we do? We spin the wheel. See what we land on here. It is now time for Eagles Now Happy Hour. So now it's time to celebrate. Where will it land? Patriots fan has to say, go Birds. So Nick Roloff, the producer for today's show, I need you to cue up that camera, and I need you to do it. We remind him often about Super Bowl 52. You got to say, go Birds, my guy.
This is going to hurt. But go Birds.
There we go! Go Birds! E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles! We just forced a Pats fan to say go Birds. Thanks to Rolly
that game
for
was
being
brutal.
a good sport. Game was great. For you, it was brutal. But an overall football game, that game was great. 41-33, coming down to a Hail Mary. Brandon Graham strip sack of Tom Brady. Derek Barnett recovery. And then all the moments in that game. From Nick Foles being MVP to the Philly special. Philly, to the dimes that Nick Foles was throwing to Alshon Jeffrey, Corey Clement, Zach Ertz with that touchdown and that 4th down conversion. How about Malcolm Jenkins' hit on Brandon Cooks? Like, so many legendary moments in that game.
That hit on Cooks really changed the game.
It changed the game.
Because he didn't come back in from then.
No, and they didn't have that gadget guy or
look.
vertical guy.
Yeah. I will ask you this. I don't think we've talked about this. Do you think Malcolm Butler not playing in that game impacted the result? Because it was a surprise benching.
It was.
Patriots fans were pissed. But as an Eagles fan, do you think it really impacted the game?
I think it impacted it a little bit because the Eagles that year, they had so many different types of weapons. Alshon Jeffrey is the big-bodied wide receiver. Aguilar out of the slot. Zach Ertz. Then they had like Jay Ajayi as their ground and pound back. LeGarrette Blount as their other physical back, who was really that bell cow. And then Corey Clement came out of the backfield where a guy like Butler would be able to pick him up outside of just a linebacker. Also that year, correct me if I'm wrong, Julian Edelman didn't play, right, because of that knee injury?
That was the year
so
he had his knee.
That was another big injury there for New England. So, yeah, Malcolm Butler being out for sure impacted it. But Bill Belichick, suck on D's. How about that? All right, our Super Chat menu. We'll stay live as long as we get Super Chat. So I'm going to start the 2-minute shot clock here. And if we get to $100 in total, I'm going to chug a beer out of the Philly special glass. We're at $27 right now. So we're going to put up our 2-minute shot clock. And if we get any more Super Chats within 2 minutes, we'll continue to stay live and just chop it up with everybody. So I'm looking at the comments section. Jose said that was a great hit. It sure was. Dutchy, Pat Stink. This year, they're a pretty lame football team to watch. GK Vlogs, yeah, I'll shut up if the Giants lose. Either way, I'll be back week 18. We'll see you then, GK. We'll see you then. NY for life, Eagles fan base, straight NPC. What does NPC mean? I'm usually up to date on the young lingo. Do you know, Rolly?
I'm pretty sure an NPC is like a quote-unquote non-playable character in video games.
Okay.
It's kind of calling you a bot
Okay.
in that kind of way.
Okay, I got it.
I think so.
All right. That's good stuff right there. I do like the creativity. Music Man, Cowgirls, Seagulls, Waking, Good Morning Rule. All right. Dak Salmon, Miles' revenge against Saquon Barkley. Both Penn State brothers. Hey, we're a minute 5 in. If we don't get any more Super Chats, we'll sign off. If we get some donations, though, we'll continue to stay live for an Eagles Now happy hour. And I'm down to chug a beer out of this Philly glass if we get to $100 in total. We're at 27 right now.
Dutchy, I got to ask you, why do you hate the Patriots in the snow game against the Raiders?
Because of the botched call, maybe?
No, yeah, but like, are you a Raiders fan?
Yeah, are you a Raiders fan?
Did it impact you personally?
Or did you have a big bet at the time on the Raiders to win? You like John Gruden? Daniel Jones gets sacked 5 times, over-under from Philly Jake. I say under. Let's go 4. They had 6 against Tannehill. That's a lot. All right. Approaching 10 seconds left on our Super Chat shot clock, and then we'll let that 20-second delay come in. If you want us to stay live to chop it up with everybody, I'll keep working like Izzy B said. I'll stay live. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll let a delay come into play. Adam Singleton is here. He's one of our biggest super chatters. I've been in contact with him. We appreciate Adam. NYG is the bots. Well, they kind of are because they're the New York Giants, but they play in New Jersey. So it's kind of bot-ish, right? Adam! $5 super chat. That gets us $69 away from chugging a beer out of the Philly glass. $69 away. You couldn't have drawn it up any better. Scotty Adams, you can't type 900,000, but if you want to send me $900,000, I'm on Venmo at Chase_Senior. $5 coming in from Adam. He didn't even need to say anything. Just sending in that $5 donation. Any $5 super chat, we'll ring the bell. Izzy B, they call me a bot. You're not a bot. You're like the mod. Different 3-letter word. Philly fan base, NPCs. All right, we'll reset the shot clock here. Izzy B, I will join Adam. Come on, guys. All right, 2 minutes to do it, Izzy B and everybody else. I want the wheel. All right, another 5. I'll do it for you. 5 plus 5 equals 10. Here's our Super Chat menu. We're willing to do all this. Ring the Liberty Bell like I did for Adam. For Adam and Izzy, that equals 10. I'll spin the wheel for y'all. $20 Eagles chant, $50 Eagles theme song, $100 in total. I'm chugging a beer out of the Philly mug. And we're $69 away from that. Izzy B, if you want the wheel, I got you. 35 seconds in on our 2-minute shot clock. The wheel is right here to my left. We're down to give it a spin. GK, Giants fan base, most loyal fan base in NFL history. We've been through so much, but yet we keeping our heads up. You have multiple Super Bowls, so it's not like you've been through that much. A team like the Lions, that has to be a loyal fan base for anybody who follows that football team. All right, Izzy, we're in the Liberty Bell, and we'll spin the wheel. We'll reset the shot clock. Wheel spinning good today. Whatever's at the top, we do. All right, 10 push-ups. Izzy B always making me work out. I'll count them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. 10 push-ups for the family. Izzy B, wait for it, on delay. NY for life. Y'all could win by 200 points tomorrow, and it doesn't matter because y'all have 1 ring and we have 4. Well, the game isn't tomorrow. That would not be good if it was on Friday. The game is on Sunday. Izzy B, come on, just do $2. Izzy B is our little mod. All right, 50 seconds in to our 2-minute shot clock, and then once this runs out, if we keep going, we're going down to a 1-minute shot clock. GK Vlogs, we were 4-8 at this time last year, 3-9 the year before. Yes, in recent memory, it's been an awful team ever since Odell took y'all on that cruise, and then he got stomped by the Green Bay Packers. But historically, this franchise has been very good, and like I said, GK, I give credit to Brian Daboll. I give credit to this organization. They're just so well coached this year as compared to last year with Joe Judge, who was just in over his skis. 30 seconds left on our shot clock. Any more supers? We'll stay live. And now we are $63 away from chugging a beer out of the Philly glass if we want to do that. If not, it's all good. We'll sign off and we'll call it a day. We're fine with that. Nick Stone, welcome back.
A lot of fighting in the comments today.
A lot of fighting in the comment section. New York, Philadelphia, hostile.
Oh,
Rezith, welcome back. Let's go, Rezith. Rezith. All right, that gets us, let's see, $58 away. Ring the bell for Rezith. Appreciate you, bro. Marcus Anderson, is there beer in the glass already? No, I have to pour it up. We'll have to pour it up. So I'll get Abby to come in here. She's part of the Eagles crew, and she'll pour up a beer here. Oh, yeah, I got to reset the shot clock. Now we're going down to 1 minute. Like I said, 1 minute. 1 minute left. If you want us to stay live, we'll stay live. Hate the push-ups and the workout stuff. I like it because it makes me feel better about drinking so much, Izzy. Rezith, got you. Real one, roll call. Rezith, always been a real one. Yes, understand the more rings argument. Peter, my God, what it do? That gets us past 50, all the way to 52. So now we're 48 away from drinking a beer out of the Philly glass. Oh, thank you. You can bring that in. Appreciate it. No, I said I will get you to bring me in one, but thank you. Peter Thurman, gonna spin the wheel. Let's go, Peter. Let's go, Peter. It has been quite the super chats today from Cool Rains. Yeah, usually it's honestly crazier, Cool Rains. All right, spin the wheel for Peter. See what we land on here. And we are at F New York. Chant it in the comments section with the Giants fans who are here. I'm going to start it off. FNY. FNY. F New York. F New York. F New York. F New York. Get it into the comment section right now. It's Giants hate week this week. Izzy B said, wait for it. What are we waiting for? Adam Singleton, Ernesto, Dutchy, all typing that F New York. Facts. Not fighting, healthy competition. I like that, Izzy B. I like that. Adam Singleton with an FNY in there. Ironically enough, producer Rolly is a Patriots fan, but he is from the state of New York. Aloha from Hawaii, from GoPro. Let's go, GoPro. Let's go, GoPro. Thanks for tuning into the show all the way from Hawaii. Nick Stone, F New York. Here's our Super Chat menu. Going back to 1 minute on the shot clock. 1 minute. Any Super Chats within 1 minute, we stay live. We are $49 away from drinking a beer out of this Philly City of Champions glass. Let's do it. Let's party. We're my big Eagles. Someone give like 60. Hey, we've gotten a lot of those, Izzy B. I think a lot of people are saving that money, though, for our Giants watch party, and I don't blame you. It's going to be a blast. Marcus Anderson said you're a bandwagon fan because you like the Patriots.
Just because I like the Patriots? Come on.
You go upstate New York, though, a lot of people are Patriots fans.
Well, I'm Patriots fans because...
Are you upstate or Western?
I'm Western.
Western.
I'm closer to Syracuse
so you're in
and
Buffalo territory.
No, I am in Buffalo territory.
And I kind of respect that. Buffalo territory, but he's a Patriots fan? That ain't easy. That ain't easy.
I'm glad I moved, considering the change in times. I'll say that.
Yes, no question about that. All right, 10 seconds left on our 1 minute shot clock, and then we'll give you about a 20-second delay to catch up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 20 seconds left. Any super chats? We'll stay live and continue to chop it up to keep this healthy fighting going on in the comment section. If not, we're just going to dip out here. Jose, I remember watching Deshaun Jackson return that punt against New York. FNY. Also, for the record, Joe Buck is the worst commentator. I disagree. I think Joe Buck is a good play-by-play guy. Everybody wants to say, oh, he's rooting against this team or rooting against my team. You know he has to call a neutral game, right? So he's going to get pumped up about when another team scores and he's not rooting against your team. Oh, did Izzy B just send in this 10? I don't know if we got to that.
Yes,
early,
sir.
Right?
She just sent it in.
Izzy, we reset the clock. Back to 1 minute. Izzy B. Then spin it. We got you. We'll spin it again.
That is spinning today.
It is really spinning.
I don't think it's ever spun that good.
No. Magic touch. All right. It's going to be Merrill Reese call. We can redo the Jake Elliott kick, 61-yarder against the Giants. How about we do that? That's pretty fitting for this week. Let me see if I can find Merrill Reese's call, though, to see exactly what he said. I do believe I have it. Okay. See exactly what he said here. Just give me a moment. That call for Merrill Reese was fantastic. "61 yards. Hold your breath. Ball is spotted. The kicker's away. And the kick is... It's good! See, what's cool about that 61-yarder back in 2017 against the Giants, FNY, is that really sparked the Eagles' run that year to go ahead and have this magical season to win the Super Bowl. So, legendary call there from Merrill. The ball is spotted. It's good! So many great calls over time from Merrill Reese. The real ones know. All right, resetting the shot clock here. Back to 1 minute. Yo, we're $39 away from drinking a beer out of the Philly City of Champions glass. Or if y'all prefer, I'll just shotgun this thing. I'll shotgun this thing if we get to $100. So I'll shotgun it, or I'll drink it out of the Philly glass. Whatever y'all want me to do, I'm doing it if we get to $100. So we're $39 away. Jose, he never gets pumped. Back in the day, you're actually kind of right. If you go back and listen to Joe Buck all the way up to like 2010, even a little bit after that, he didn't get too pumped up. Recently, though, and it's unfortunate he doesn't do baseball anymore, he got a little bit more pumped. And he actually admitted that. He was like, dang, I sounded so boring. So he's changed that to his broadcasting style. Izzy B said, boom. Got about another 10 seconds left before that 20-second runoff. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll give you about a 20-second delay here. Izzy B wants another wheel spin. Marcus, we'll go to the Super Bowl if we lock up the number 1 seed. Great chance to do so just because of home field advantage at Lincoln Financial Field. It's just a different atmosphere as compared to what other fan bases have to offer. It'd be difficult for another opponent to come into Philly to take down the Birds. They just have to avoid that sneaky first-round matchup if they don't get the bye. Like a team against, or a game against, Tom Brady would be scary. If you got like the Cowboys in round 1, Washington in round 1, just because they know the Eagles so well, that could be a freaky matchup. But if you get that first-round bye, you're usually playing a team that's banged up, that's a little bit exhausted. You're at home. You're feeling rejuvenated. I get a little bit scared coming off the bye week, but winning at home made it a lot easier in the playoffs. Are the Raiders going to win tonight, Chase? From Dutchy. I think they do. Here's a cool Raiders stat. If you want to bet on this game too, I got you covered with some really good betting info. Let me pull it up here. By the way, it looks as though no super chats are going to come in, so we'll sign off after this unless we get a super. So the Raiders have scored on 45% of their drives this year. That trails only the Chiefs and the Bills in the NFL, whereas the Rams have a minus 60-point differential in the fourth quarter this season, the largest in the league. So this game, it could be a pull-away Raiders win, especially late. Plus, the Rams are just an awful team. Are they starting Baker Mayfield tonight? I don't think that we're sure of that yet. Shotgun that thing from Izzy B. I'll do it if we get to 100. We're 39 away. Last chance. Last call. Here's our Super Chat menu. I'll give y'all 30 more seconds. I'm going past the time limit. He'll probably shotgun off camera. Could be true for Marcus. Who do you think is the perfect replacement if Jason Kelce retires in a trade or free agency? They have his replacement. It's Cam Jurgens, the second-round pick center out of Nebraska. He's going to be the replacement. Just a few people do 5 from Izzy. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Izzy with the 2. All right, we'll stay live for Izzy because Izzy's a real one. And we'll sing Fly Eagles Fly for Izzy with the foam head on. $37 away from a shotgun. Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory. Fight, Eagles, fight. Score a touchdown, 1, 2, 3. Hit 'em low, hit 'em high, and watch our Eagles fly. Fly, Eagles, fly on the road to victory. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles. See, Giants fans, they don't have a chant like that. Either do the Patriots. All right, Andrew White, there you go. All right, this is for real. 1 minute. Or 1 minute, I should say. 1 minute left. Then I promise you, we're going to sign off if we don't get any more donations. $37 away from a shotgun. I like chopping it up with everybody. Emperor, what did you mean to say? What are the... You didn't finish your sentence or your question. Marcus, Zach Pascal for sure. Yes, that is the answer to Tyler Welch. Who plays in place of Quez? Now, Quez Watkins was taking punts today at practice. That's a good sign. Does he play this week? If not, the Eagles are going to miss the verticality to his game. Izzy, we got yours. Because he really takes the top off of the defense. That speed element will be missed. But Pascal, he's done a good job this year as a guy who's just that nitty-gritty wide receiver, basically does all the janitorial duties for the offense at that wide receiver spot. He will be wide receiver 3. And then maybe they elevate a guy off the practice squad because Britain Covey is the only other receiver on the roster, or they go 2 tight end sets a lot. All right, we're about to sign off here on Philadelphia Eagles Now. We thank everybody who did send in a donation. Izzy B, today's MVP. We appreciate that. And all of the other donations that came in. Adam Singleton, Peter Thurman, Emmanuel. I'm missing a few. But either way, all of you who sent in supers, we do appreciate that. We'll be live next on Sunday. Pre-game show, 12:30 p.m. Eastern. Kickoff, 1 o'clock Eastern. Make sure you subscribe and join us. Can't wait for it. We'll have some giveaways and some great Super Chat games as well. We'll catch you then. Have a great week.